Hello! Welcome in to the third string opinions. Not the first string, not even the second string, or not even the backups. We're the guys you call in when the other two go down. You know,
dude, we might be practice squad.
It's the weekend. All the other professional shows are off the air. Mm-hmm. And we're live at 6 p.m. 5:55 p.m. We started early.
Oh, wait. I looked at my wrist like I was wearing my watch today. Not wearing my watch.
But here we are. Welcome in, Braden.
Welcome in, Hayden.
How was your week?
You know, it's pretty good.
You're unemployed, basically.
Yeah, I'm unemployed right now, basically. I have summers off, so, you know.
And I have, like triple overtime summers.
I know, I hate that, how that matches up. I think about it every day almost. I'm home and I'm like, oh, dang it, Hayden's not home yet.
Yeah, for the most part, for what am I saying? For those who don't know, did I talk about it last week? My job, it's in the agriculture field. I don't do much with the agriculture. I do paperwork stuff, but my whole job revolves around wheat harvesting, and that is prime wheat harvest right now.
Dude, you're like a real life Harvest Moon, or
it's like real life Harvest Moon, Stardew Valley. Do you like this? Did you like this? You didn't mess with this.
Yeah, kind of did a little bit.
Make
Should I get a little bit more head on?
Whatever you want.
I can still see you. I
Want.
think that's good.
Yeah. So I work from 7 a.m. to usually about 8:30 p.m.
Yeah, because sometimes I'm sitting at home and, like, the wife is winding down. I'm about to go to bed. And I'm, like, up in the bonus room, and I'm like,
"Where's Hayden?"
And I'm like, "Oh, I want to play a game with my buddy." And then I see you jump on Apex for, like, 30 minutes, and I'm like, I don't have the heart to jump on Apex.
Yeah. And, like, that was... I barely even do that. Sometimes I just hop into the Discord where I see Ducky and Connor playing. And I'm like, hey, guys, what are you doing? Because even though I'm at work, sometimes I'm not always busy at work, but I just have to be there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, guys, what you guys doing? And they're just like, just playing games without you. Because Connor's also a teacher, so he's going through the same thing as you. You guys should just hang out.
I know. What's he doing?
Nothing.
I actually wanted to, when you texted me, you're like, hey, we're going to do a show this week. Quickly, in my brain, I was like, ooh, maybe we can get Elijah to hop on one, because I know he's probably got some opinions about the whole Sworsby thing.
Yeah.
And then he texted us.
Second string opinions.
I know. He might bump us up just a little bit.
He's probably past. That's why he's not going. He's past us.
Yeah, no, he's on another level. But I was like, I know he'll have some opinions. And then he texted us like an hour after I had that thought. He was like, hey, I'll be in Mexico this week. And I'm like, dang it.
And like unprompted too. He was just like, hey, I'm going to be in Mexico. Yep.
All right, he just wanted us to know, just in case there's any crazy updates.
We're still blowing up the group chat. I don't even care. He's going to get back into the States and like,
just all at one time.
So yesterday, I wanted to talk about this just a little bit. Yesterday I saw a movie.
Okay.
I went with Connor because I actually got done early. Nice. Yesterday was Saturday and I just had to still had to work. But I got done early, so I went and saw a movie. You heard Obsession?
Obsession.
There's a lot of like memes coming out about it where the girl's like, no,
yes.
Yeah.
I know exactly what
you're talking about. I'm not going to spoil the movie, but I'm going to spoil part of the setup. And it's not even like how the obsession part of the movie is. It's just like the first couple minutes. So if you don't even want to see that, skip ahead like a couple minutes. So this movie starts off with this guy who is just a white dude about my age, living by himself with a cat. and he gets home and his cat is dead.
Oh no.
And it's
worst case
the
scenario.
exact same scenario. Like the cat was there's not a lot of ways for cats to die, but it's the exact same way I found Rooney a couple of years ago. No. Just like I was like, "Oh my god."
I don't want to sit in this movie right now.
And the other bad part is the cat's name was Sandy. which is my childhood's
Dude,
dog.
you've had a
name.
rough go the past like 3 years
Well,
with pets. Like,
true, but Sandy's been a while.
yeah,
Sandy's been a while.
it was just because
but-
they all kind of like came in together and then they all go out
yeah.
together.
It's so,
sucks.
and then it's also like, it's like, dude, he's like, he doesn't know where he stands in relationship with this girl, and he's all sad about it, and he's living by himself, and his cat died. I'm like, they just made this movie about me. And Connor, he showed up late, and so I was like,
Was it just you in the theater
It
for a
was just
little bit?
me in the theater, just being like, why are they making a movie about me at my worst?
Of your worst like things, just every fear that just go running through your head at one time. You're like, it's all coming back, just
my
flooding
God,
back at the
it
same
was so
time.
funny.
That's great.
And then Connor showed up.
That's sad a little bit.
Well, again, no, you have to find the humor in it. That's
Yeah.
why I was like laughing. I was like,
Yeah. Oh no.
oh no.
That's like the same. You've been popping up on social media all over the place. The bunch of bunch of crunch cake
if you
guy.
guys, maybe I could put this in, but it's like the Mama got that bunch of crunch.
I feel like we
cake.
find a lot of people
Mama got
that.
bunch of crunch cake.
There was a video.
But it's
I-
me. It's literally me. In the
I feel like I see a lot of videos, like just personality wise, or even looks wise, and I'd be like, "That's Hayden." They got like, or then
the uncle one.
yeah, the uncle one. I was like,
Yeah.
"That's Hayden."
Yeah, where he's like teaching the kids about Star Wars.
Yeah.
and he's like, what do we
Lord of the
wanna
Rings,
watch
Star
Lord of the Rings?
Wars,
All right, let's watch
all
it.
kinds of things.
Yeah, there's this
That's
one
funny.
that was like, I'll say it. It was like, he's like holding his niece's hand and he's walking. It's like a picture, and it's like, she doesn't know that I'm the racist uncle.
Oh,
so
no.
For now, we'll talk about princesses. I said that to my
no.
sisters, and they were like, "You're the worst."
Oh gosh, we should probably not. We should probably not talk about random stuff because last week we got told to shut up and dribble by my wife.
Hey, yeah, what up with that? You know what? No sports this week. Let's talk about our feelings instead.
Oh man, that was so
Let's
funny.
talk about how much we hate your wife.
Dude, it's so funny because you hear that so often. Athletes, people are just like, "Oh, just play your sport." And basically, yeah, we were talking about death last week,
were
and
talking
my
about
wife commented and
death,
said, "Less."
religion.
She said, "Less depression, more sports." And Hayden was like, "Did you just tell me to shut up and dribble?"
She did. Oh, like of all of our, we actually gained a follower this week.
Did we?
That I didn't even really know. Shout out to you, that person.
Oh man, I hope they're watching.
That
Welcome.
puts us at like, but you knew them. I just don't know who they are.
On what, YouTube or?
On no, Instagram. I don't really know. So this week we posted a reel. I want to put, if I can help it, I can post like 2 or 3 reels a week.
Let's
It's just
see.
finding good stuff. But
Yeah,
this reel this week, or not the reel.
You got to make it worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The TikTok we posted this week didn't do as well, but I think it's because
Oh, that's my sister-in-law.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
TikTok, if you like so much as mention death, you have to say like unalived, or else it won't go in the algorithm.
That's so dumb.
So the second we said death, which was the first thing, I'm afraid of death, is what you said. We only got like 80.
But then
views.
the context is like
Doesn't matter.
It's not yeah.
Doesn't matter to China. They'll be like, no.
Yeah.
No death.
So what do you want to get into first? Do you want to do so? I want to talk about like when I said this, like when I pitched this, are like top 10 like fan defining moments.
10? You said 10?
I said 10.
I
did
put
10.
down 3.
Oh brother,
Because-
the text said 10.
I
I could talk about so many.
I
Like,
guess it was me that said 3 with the other thing we were considering,
Oh.
and I just
you can just think
internal-
if you think.
I did have
if you
some
think of
honorable
some.
mentions in my head.
That's good.
That I can at least.
Because I was just thinking about just
think right
alternating. I was like, you go, I go, and then
Yeah.
maybe even if we just think of other things
Just
randomly.
so we, like,
I bet you
nostalgia.
know one of them, but don't say it. Don't spoil it. But
Well,
I
I'm
bet
sure
you know
we
one
share
of
at
them.
least 1 or 2.
Yeah.
If we're mostly talking, probably for
There's a very
us,
iconic one.
Titans, and then U-Vols.
Yes. A lot of
maybe
mine.
Braves.
A lot of my. See, so I left I did leave the Braves out, even though it's like literally a World Series. Like it's one of my. I mean,
Yeah.
literally, I've been a massive Braves fan since I could understand baseball. I left them out just because, like, I kind of had nobody to like relate that with. You know what I mean? Like when they won the World Series, I was like sitting in my living room by myself just watching the game. Like Sarah had already gone to bed. My dad, I don't really think cared enough. Like my dad is he's at the age now to like he'll text me like randomly. Yesterday, he literally texted me yesterday and was like, because he texted me on Friday and said, "Are you going to the USA soccer game?" And I said, "Isn't it in LA?" And then he goes, "Oh, I just now noticed that I left out watch. Are you going to watch the U.S. soccer game?"
Yeah.
I called him during the game, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm watching it right now," because I couldn't get it to play. And which is funny because, like, my entire life, the dude hated soccer. Like, he wouldn't let me play soccer when I was...
America, baby.
Yeah, when I was little, like, that was one sport that I never played was soccer because my dad was like, "You're not playing soccer. That's for wusses." Like, that kind of mentality.
Yeah.
And so he texted me. He said, "Just now noticed I left out the word watch. The soccer game tonight. It was a good game. Soccer's okay to watch if they're scoring." and then he said, then he also followed that up with, will the Knicks win it tonight?"
Yeah.
Which I'm like, whoa, because my dad is 68 years old. Mm-hmm. I don't think I've ever seen him watch an NBA game in his lifetime or a soccer game willingly in his lifetime. He texts me that. I think he's just like, he's to the point in his life where he's like very casual. Like I think he's a little less casual about like Tennessee Vols football, but like I live an hour away from my parents, which isn't crazy, like not that far away, but
Yeah.
I just never get to like watch games with him. I know he like one of his buddies comes over and they watch the games. I don't know how like into it he gets. Like I know how me and you watch football. Like we're pretty active when we watch football. Like we're into it. We like we chant and we yell and you know cheer and all that.
Get underneath the rug.
We'll get underneath the rug, dude.
Yeah.
You can find any way to win. And I feel like he's just so nonchalant to the point where like we grew up going to like Tennessee games all the time, but I don't think he has stepped foot in Neyland Stadium since I was in high school.
Really?
And I'm 32. So it's kind of funny when he texts me things. But going back, the reason I started that whole spiel was I was sitting in my living room watching the Braves game by myself. It's like just me being like, "Oh yeah, one of the moments in my life is like the Braves win." It's like, okay, that's pretty much about it. So that's like an honorable mention, different things like that.
Yeah.
But do you want to go ahead and start off with that, or I'll let you go first since you have a few?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it also hit on before we go too far. The Knicks won. There's your update for basketball, and they destroyed the city.
Hold on. Yeah, hold on.
Oh, you have more for this?
Well, not more.
Oh.
Sorry. I had to get my water I left over there. So I don't have more. I just have like, I was just really hoping that they wouldn't win just because I have been watching on Twitter for the past, I guess, week of them just like absolutely being the worst people on the earth, on the scum, like literally scum of the earth.
Yeah.
And I already have my opinions about like New York as a whole, like not necessarily like politically, even though I don't agree with the politics going on. But I just think like that has hindered itself to just become a terrible like city. And I just hated seeing like literally people get that aggressive over like sports. And you know, at that point, it's not about the actual sports. Like those people that you saw like attacking Spurs fans and literally ripping their jerseys off. These jerseys aren't cheap.
Yeah.
Like, jerseys aren't cheap.
Even if they
and
were,
even if they are, it's still not right.
Yeah.
And like ripping the clothes like jerseys and setting their hair on fire and jumping people just because they wear a different like jersey.
Mm-hmm.
That's crap just from like a human standpoint.
Yeah.
Even worse from like a sports standpoint, because then it's like you never know like the kind of copycats that becomes. And like part of sports is like being able to go to like an away game and like enjoying it.
Yeah.
And
you're talking a little trash, but like but once things get violent and then there's even some like where it's like, oh, we got violent, two guys got in a fight, but then
it
it's
happens
like
everywhere, right? Like
you know, dudes that are just minding their own business.
You see the stadium fights all the time. Those are kind of everywhere. You know,
I've almost gotten in a few.
Tell me about so I wasn't.
That's a defining
I wasn't there. I didn't get to go. I think I was working at the time. But the trip to Indianapolis that you and Elijah took, what was the whole? I remember something was said about Elijah's pants.
So I'll start off then with one of my moments, and it was the I think it was back-to-back years during when the Titans were winning the AFC South.
Yeah.
Um,
This was like 2018,
it must.
2019.
Yeah, I think so. I think it might have been that 19 season. So me and a bunch of guys, so it was me, Elijah, Benji, I think Trevor, and my sister was even there.
I didn't realize your sister was
She
there.
She went with a guy.
Immediately, just out of the group of guys that went, like, it's crazy, it's funny, and it's like assuring on your end that a confrontation happened because Benji is a pretty big dude and Trevor is a really big dude. Like, so you and like Elijah could hold his own, and so like
It's funny because so we were walking out of. Gosh, actually, there's a couple of like things because we went twice, and I can't remember which one was which because not everyone went both times, but me and Elijah went both times.
yeah,
And there was this guy who sat in front of us, and because Indy is Eastern time, the game starts at 11, and this guy in front of us is drunk, and we're just talking trash to him, but not like we weren't like we don't usually talk trash unless we're like preemptively like
Yeah.
people are like, oh,
Elijah is a
making-
trash talker, but like a fun, like a lighthearted. Like he is like
Yeah.
he will make a joke. Like he'll joke, but
So-
he won't like a personally
So
attack.
I think this one was probably like someone, something happens and we didn't agree on the call on the field, and so someone makes a snide remark, be like, "Oh, it's a BS call," and then one of us is like, "Actually, it was a right call. We all saw it," and the guy's like, "Oh," and then that's how
Yeah.
it starts to be like, "Well, you man, you."
Yeah.
In this case, this guy was like super blacked out, drunk at 11 a.m.
Yeah.
on a Sunday, and so I like bring that up. I'm like, "Oh, bro, your life is so sad. You're already drunk at 11 a.m. on a Sunday. You can't even enjoy the game. You don't even know where you are." And he's just like yelling at me, and that one didn't end up going anywhere, but it was pretty fun. And then on the way out of the one where Benji was definitely there for this
Yeah.
one, we're going out and we're going back to our cars, and people are harassing us after we just won the game. This must have been it was the season, I think it was, might have been the season where Derrick Henry broke his foot. Because
That was 2019.
That was the
or
game.
2018. Oh no, 2019. Because he was.
It was when we lost to the Ravens, I think.
Okay.
It wasn't 2019. It's when we lost because people think that we should have started the other guy because Henry wasn't ready yet. What was his name? Deontay Foreman.
Yeah. Okay.
And Andre Dilliard. Anyways, blah, 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 blah. Hilliard. Got it.
Yeah.
And we're walking out, and then there's people are trash talking us, and he says to Elijah, he's like, "Oh, you probably think you're so fashionable because you're wearing skinny jeans." And Elijah is a fashionable guy, and he is wearing jeans that they're not skinny jeans, but they're like tighter.
Yeah,
That's
just
just what the
fit 'em.
style is. And
Yeah.
he's like, "Yeah, that's what the style is right now."
Yeah.
And the guy was like, and I remember, I can't remember exactly what it said, but I just remember really talking trash to people, getting ready,
Yeah.
ready.
Because
Just daring them.
wasn't Benji
And
like
then Benji's
about
like,
it?
Benji's like, "God, Hayden, you're gonna make me."
Oh,
Benji's
okay.
a big guy,
Yeah.
and he's like, "God, Hayden, you're gonna make because you get in a fight." You're not the one
Yeah.
fighting. I'm the one fighting. I was
Benji's gonna be like,
I'm like,
"Dang
yeah.
Yeah. That's great. See. Those are the memories, the type of memories. I didn't get to go to either one of those, but those are the memories that like I'm talking about. It's like, oh, I remember that. I remember that because we won, but also like this happened. That's what I'm.
Yeah, we
shooting
won
for.
both those games, and it was nice. And I think Elijah and I have both kind of retired going to Indianapolis because we're 2-0 there.
Yeah. Okay.
So-
That makes sense.
So
So my number 10 that I don't remember if you were physically in the room, but it was the 2016 Tennessee versus Florida football game. It was at home, so it's at Tennessee, and we were living at Steffi Street. And I remember the game because that was like kind of when Butch Jones was getting some momentum. Like we were, I think like 4-0. I think we were ranked going into the game. It was like a ranked versus ranked. I'm pretty sure like Tennessee was like top 14, or like they were number 14. I think Florida was number 19, and there was so much hype going into it. And we went down 21-3, and then we just looked terrible. And I think that was the game, the first time we wore like the smoky gray like uniforms. I just remember everybody being like so hyped about it.
And now we can never use them again because we're gonna lose.
So 21-3, and I think it was like me, you, possibly. I know Elijah was home, and maybe Connor was there as well.
Yeah.
I just remember being like so mad, just because it's like you have this like big lead up of the game and like all the excitement, and you just come out and look like crap. And so I remember I went to the grocery store because it was like a Saturday. I was like, whatever, I'm just going to go grocery shopping. I go to the grocery store. I literally didn't like check my phone because I was so upset about it. And I remember Elijah calling me at some point, like during the third quarter. I was driving back home. He's like, bro, where you at? And I said, coming back home from the grocery store. He's like, you need to get back home. They're making a run. Mm-hmm. And anyways, I got back home, got back into the living room. They were kind of like making fun of me because I had left in just a bad mood. And anyways, Tennessee came back and won like 38-24 or something like that. It was like 21-3 at halftime, and we won like 38-24. And that was like a big significance because we just hadn't beat Florida. And
was that the Jawan Jennings catch?
That was the Jawan Jennings catch over. That was the Ducks don't pull trucks game.
Don't pull trucks, and then the Ducks pulled a truck.
Yeah, and then Oregon tweeted something and tagged like both Tennessee football and of like the mascot literally pulling a truck.
I wasn't
the Tease Tabor game
because I remember I was listening to it on the radio.
Okay,
so I must have been. I was probably working like Papa John's or something.
Yeah,
so I remember listening to the call. It was like catch. Yeah. I was like, oh.
Well, if you pull up, God, I feel like that makes me want to feel like Theo Von. Hey, Riley, can you pull up that video? But the catch was over. Like the defining catch was kind of over Tease Tabor. It was Jawan Jennings, and Tease Tabor had been talking crap like all week about it, and he's the one that was like Ducks don't pull trucks kind of thing.
It's so funny how Tease Tabor was like supposed to be this big. He was supposed to be like almost like this cultural.
That's not the one. That's the one from this past. Hold on.
This gotta be it.
Oh no! So sorry. It wasn't Jawan No, it was Jawan Jennings.
Here,
but they were wearing the smoky gray jersey, so I'm not sure if this was.
All right, let me see here. Let me see.
I don't remember which game this was.
You didn't misremember, did you? Mm-mm. No, that's not it. I'll find it. Keep.
I think it was
Georgia, was it?
Well, this is a different one. This is a different memory. Hold on. Pause this because this is a different memory. This is in my top five. This is in my top five.
Okay. Oh, I'm accidentally showing stuff. There. Now they can't see it. I hit it.
I think it's just type in Tennessee versus Florida 2016. There we go. Yep, that one right there, the top one. Just skip like. Go back a little bit more because it happened to take the lead. So it was back a ways. Right here, I think. I think this was the throw. Yep, this was it right here. So the guy guarding Jawan Jennings right there, Tease Tabor, or I don't know if that was Tease Tabor, but the guy guarding Jawan Jennings was talking crap all week, and then Jawan Jennings being the just dog.
So it'll be right here.
Yep.
I got it turned down.
Jawan Jennings is literally one of my favorite Tennessee football players just because he almost didn't catch it either.
I kind of wanted to go for him in free agency, but I'll take Wandell.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure. But he's just like one of those players that I feel like he's just like literally got that. I don't want to be like cliche, but like literally has like the dog type of mentality in him. Like he got kicked off by Butch Jones. Butch Jones's last year because he basically like aired everything out and was like y'all suck. I love him so much.
Gosh dang it, Butch Jones.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that. I was listening to it, I think. So my fan-defining moment is one of them. One of my ones I put in the top 3.
Yeah.
Was we've been season ticket holders until this past year for years and years. Must be like at least 2005. So almost 21 years.
Yeah.
20 years.
It's crazy.
Almost exactly.
Yeah.
Depending on when we got them. But after my dad was injured, we, as part of like a veteran like outreach program, we got to tour the Titans training facility.
Ooh, that's cool.
And the guy who gave us the tour was Bob Hyde. And we actually did this twice, but I put the first one as kind of one of my fan-defining moments because it was like when the relationship with the Titans kind of became a little more personal. Got to see the behind the scenes, and Bob Hyde was like telling us stories about one. Apparently, there was like these tiles, just like ceiling tiles.
Yeah.
And Javon Curse, I can't remember the exact story, but it was basically like Javon was like, I bet I can, jump high enough to remove that ceiling tile.
Ow.
And then Jeff Fisher said something like, if you can remove one of those tiles, you get the rest of the day off. Like, and there's like training camp or something. And so he jumps and does it. And then he says, get your ass back out there. He didn't hold up his end. It was something like that.
Yeah.
It might not even been Jeff Fisher. It might have, and I met Coach Mack.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was watching film. And he was looking at some film of the Titans scoring a touchdown, like on some sort of scoop and score.
Yeah.
On Thanksgiving, and our guy got it, and then as he jumped into the end zone, he did a turkey thing.
Oh, that's funny.
And so we were kids, like I was at the earliest, I was like middle school, I think. And so he was just like showing us that, very personal. And then Bob Hyde himself, he's since passed away, but we remained in touch with him. And then when my parents founded the American Mobility Project, which is like this nonprofit that gets people mobility devices who are like in chairs, or if they need an adapted van or something like that, they help fund them. But he came on as a like a co-founder. So my two parents and him. And so we had this like really nice connection with the Titans, and he always had like all this stuff that he would like give away. You can see a lot of my stuff here. Like this ball. I don't even know who all of it is, but it's signed by Bruce Matthews there, Hall of Fame 2007.
What a signature.
I think that's Mike Munchak, Hall of Fame 2000. Does that sound right? 2001?
Munchak?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah? I don't even know. It's hard to say. Like, I don't even know who all the signatures are. You can take a look at it. But that ball, I got it from.
I bet if you
can go online.
just date this, and so if you know about the time. Well, I guess was this already signed when he gave it to you? Mm-hmm. So it could have just been like from whenever.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah, and so we have all of that stuff from him, and so that was a very fan-defining moment. It led to some other things, like my dad going out on the field during this ceremony where he was kind of given this ceremonial ball, and everyone's like waving at him, cheering him on. We ended up winning that game against the Steelers. And then we met Carrie Underwood in the elevator on the way back to our seats.
It's crazy.
So that was one of my fan-defining moments. Very much, I'll always love the Titans. I'll even always love Miss Amy. I met her a couple times. Like when people trash talk Miss Amy, saying she doesn't care, that's just not true. From what I've met her,
she cares.
She cares,
She cares
more
very
than I think
much.
people think. Like the whole Texas
Tennessee
thing,
Houston rivalry.
she cares.
She hates losing
Oh
to
yeah,
Texans.
she
dude.
cares.
She hates it.
She will never give up the Oilers legacy. It's her dad's.
Yeah.
And she's like, no.
Yeah.
No way.
And
am I
it
giving
kills
that
me.
up.
That's another thing that really grinds my gears, man. Is the Houston Texans being like, the Oilers are ours. I'm like, no, it's not even the same franchise.
Like something else. You know what I mean? I get you maybe feel betrayed. I don't know. Next time, fund a stadium. I don't know what to tell you.
It was so long ago. Just get over it. All right. So my next one is, golly, the 2007 SEC Championship game. Tennessee versus LSU. I was 11 years old. I had to kind of figure out, because I thought I was younger than I remembered, but I was 11.
So I have no idea, like pre like 2013 anything Vols
Really?
ever. They could have won every single national championship before that, and I would have no idea.
So we were obviously won the national championship in '98. I was born, but I was
Had
only
no
4.
idea.
Yeah. So I was 4, so I don't really remember it. That would be one of my. I remember the only thing I remember about Tennessee's national championship in '98 was my dad had a couple friends over. And like I remember, like I physically remember like being downstairs in our first house. And I remember because my dad had like, I think I talked about this last week. My dad had like one of those massive like TVs.
Yeah.
Like that, it was like as big as, like it was a huge screen, but the whole thing was that big and it like sat on the floor. So he had one of those. And I remember watching the game on the TV down in that room. Like I remember the game happening. I remember them celebrating. Because it was like my dad and a couple other people and my mom and a bunch of people over our house. That's about the only thing I remember. I don't remember like details. I really don't even remember like why they were celebrating. Now, obviously, I can put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
But like at 4 years old, you just don't have the capacity to really understand like, oh, I'm like my family's a fan of this team. I'm going to be a football fan. You just don't have that capacity. So we had been in the SEC championship for a couple of years in the early 2000s, mid 2000s. 2007. Now that I think about it, I'm like, man, I had every right to be this upset. I remember we were playing LSU. We lost the game 21-14. And I specifically remember going to bed and
Crying.
I was 11. Like I wasn't like, I was middle school. I remember like literally, crying like because I was so heartbroken we lost the SEC championship. And my dad was like, he was the dad. He was like, it's okay, boy. Like, they'll be back, whatever.
They'll be back.
Spoiler alert. We haven't
F
been
you,
back.
Dad. You
So
son of a
that's
bitch.
why I'm like, dang, because I still remember going to bed. My dad like literally sitting in my room, like almost trying to reason with me, like, hey, it's okay, like whatever, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So that's like I remember that. Like it's just one of those kid memories you have that like were directly related to sports. That just sticks out to me. And then I like the connotation behind it now. It's like, oh man, we really hadn't, like that was the last time from basically childhood till I was about 20 or 21 that we were relevant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or actually not even 21, maybe like close to like later 20s.
Yeah.
We were relevant. So,
Right. You had some
because we didn't really get
splotches every now
we had
and then,
splotches
yeah.
like 20 the Butch Jones era had like little splotches and then it was crap again and then
Josh Dobbs.
22 is kind of when 21 and 22 is kind of like when we finally were like, all right, we're kind of
Cooking
relevant
up
again.
something.
But yeah, so that was number 9. So I'm still high. Like I'm basically treating this as 10 as like least to like 1 is like my most for sure.
My next moment would be another Titans moment. Leading up, so I went to a lot of games, like from middle school to high school.
Yeah.
And I would show up and I'd root and I'd say, "Are we going to the playoffs?" And then they'd be like, "Yes" or "No," and I'd be like, "Okay." And I didn't keep up with it. I rooted for them, liked them, understood what a first down was, understood what a touchdown was, but like outside of a lot of that, it was kind of just like it's pretty casual. Like, still a fan, but still casual.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until the 2014 season, and this is how you know I'm not a bandwagoner, is the 2014 season where I went all in. It was the same year I started fantasy football, and I was like really keeping up with
It's like
fantasy.
a year before I met you. That's when you went
Just
all
about.
in.
Yeah. And I'm going crazy on the Titans on 2014.
Yeah.
Just so you know how bad that season went, we got the number 2 overall pick.
That was the Corey Davis and...
No. The next year, we drafted Marcus Mariota. And that is my defining moment. I went to the stadium.
Yeah, that was.
I went to the stadium with Tyler to watch the draft. Everybody knows that if we're not getting Marcus, we're getting Jameis. If we're not getting Jameis, we're getting Marcus. And everybody really wanted Marcus. That was what we were. So we get there. It was a lot of fun. You know, we watched the draft, see Marcus get drafted, and they hand out these lays with Titans blue. And at that moment, I'm like, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm all in.
Yeah.
I'm Marcus Mariota.
Blessings.
The blessings of Marcus Mariota upon ye, sir. Good blessings, good blessings. We'd like see each other at work, or at church, be like, blessings of Marcus Mariota upon ye. And it was a lot of fun.
That was such a cultural that was just just we would always just spout out that randomly.
We were believers in Marcus until we weren't, essentially. And it
It'd
took.
just be bad if I opened this up and ate a couple.
No, as long as you don't chew in the mic. We were big believers in Marcus up until we weren't, and that was when we saw Tannehill start slanging that thing. We're like, oh,
Slanging that thing.
This is what the quarterback's supposed to look like.
Yeah.
Drafting Marcus, big moment for me, and I'll always have a little special place in my heart. Sometimes he'll come in like a game, like last year he had to fill in a little bit for the Commanders. I'll go grab my Mariota jersey and I'll throw that sucker
Just
on.
root the boy on.
And I'm just rooting for him.
Such a great guy.
Yeah. I once saw him at a restaurant.
It's hard not to root for guys like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's just hard not to be fans.
Yeah.
And it's not like he was bad. I think just situationally, I'd say the injuries had something to do with it.
That broken leg, not good.
It changed him a lot.
Yeah. That sucks he got that broken leg.
There's parts of me that I'm like, I like Oregon enough to I'm like, man, a Mariota Oregon jersey would be iconic.
Yeah.
Just for the upstairs.
I spent some time in Oregon during his time here, and you would see, just in the airport, you'd see Mariota jerseys.
Yeah.
I'm
You
like,
still see him, especially in Oregon.
I'm
Oregon
like,
games.
man. And I almost bought him a couple times.
Roof's trying to beef with me lately. I think he thinks
Get him.
I'm playing with him every time.
Get him, Roof.
All right, so my number
Lift him up.
7, probably, maybe, depending on how you think about your list, we might share. So my number 8, the loss in 2019 in the playoffs to the Bengals. It was the AFC Championship game.
Moment.
I remember that because we rode down there with you guys, right? It was me, you, and Elijah, and your parents.
So which one? Sorry.
Was it 2019, the AFC, the championship game, the Bengals game, right?
No, you're kind of mixing a little bit. 2019 was when we went to the AFC Championship and lost to the Chiefs. But you're talking about when we had the number 1 seed against the Bengals.
Yes.
In 20.
Yes.
20?
Was it 2020? No.
2021. 2020 was
Yes,
Ravens.
sorry.
2021 was
Yes, sorry. I got
Bengals.
my dates mixed up.
Yeah, there was a run there.
Yeah, because
where
there was a run where we were
actually
constantly.
good.
Yeah.
But the
sorry.
2021 was the number 1 seed.
Yes, sorry.
right?
2021. Because we rode down there with you guys, right?
I can't remember. I was there, though. I was there.
I'm trying to remember the game that Elijah, because we didn't sit together, but we rode down there. One of the games, maybe we didn't ride down. I don't know, because I remember.
We're all there.
I remember y'all picked me up one game. Your parents, your dad was driving, I think, and you were in the car, obviously, and Elijah was already with you, and he had hard seltzers in the back seat.
He did that
was that the Dallas game? That we went to a night game.
I can't remember that
against
might have
Dallas,
been it, but he was. I think that Dallas game was actually during my sister's wedding. I think we had a whole bunch of people Because that was my sister's wedding weekend. They all came into town. and
Because
went to that.
I had a video up until like a couple weeks ago because I had to delete a whole bunch of stuff on my phone to make storage. But I had a video of it was like during a timeout. It was a night game and all the lights, like everybody's cell phone lights, were on, and there was like it was
like the light show.
it was Entertainment Man, and then like I'm panning to you and you're like playing the air guitar, and then I panned to Elijah and he's like, with his, because that's when he had long hair.
Oh, someone
Goodness.
Like this. Is that a tender spot? Is that a tender spot?
He's like, let me chew on this thing.
Good grief.
But anyways, yeah, I just remember the playoff game in 2021. We weren't sitting together. Me and Elijah were sitting like kind of in the club level, and you guys were sitting down in your seats, and like
It's so
just being so
demoralizing.
hype because we were on such a run for a couple of years. Hey, quit it, guy! We're trying to do a show here. We were on such a run. Like I think like at the time we were like, darn, that sucks. Like obviously Tannehill, and that kind of like changed Tannehill's trajectory of his career.
Yeah. Said he had to like go to therapy.
Like, go to therapy. But I think at the time, like, it wasn't. I mean, it was a big deal because, like, obviously we wanted to reach that Super Bowl, but it's kind of like, it's like we're gonna be right back. Reload, you know. We're not. We didn't. So yeah. I remember Elijah had a couple things of Fireball, like the little bitty bottles of Fireball, because it was cold. Remember how cold it was? It was pretty dang cold.
I can't quite remember. That.
And we were up in the club level because we both had our jackets on, and he like pulls out like a little bitty thing of Fireball. He's like, "You want some?" I'm like, "Oh heck yeah, dude!"
Dude, I remember that game because we lost on the interception, right? Essentially,
Yeah.
like it was a tied game.
Yeah,
And we had just got the ball, and it was a tie game, like 16-16, something like that, some weird number. And then when we got the ball, just a few minutes left, and it was like this, like, on the Jumbotron, it was like, boom, since 2019, boom, no quarterback, boom, has had more game-winning drives, boom, 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 than Ryan Tannehill. Everyone's going, yeah. Interception.
yeah. Well, isn't that
my
too?
God.
We didn't play Henry, right? Because of his. That was when his foot messed up. Because I remember like
Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier.
Yes.
It was the same year that
we played him, but he shouldn't
he
have.
probably should have been Foreman, who had been running
Yeah.
efficiently.
Yeah.
That was his first game back, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember when they introduced him, everybody went wild.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my number. That was my number 8.
Go again, just because that defined
My number 7 has to do also with Titans. Do you remember in 2018? Is it 2018? Yeah, I wrote it down. In 2018, do you remember the win versus Kansas City?
Yes.
Do you remember
that
what-
was
do you remember
Joshua
where we were-
Kalu.
Do you remember where we were at?
Was I not at the game?
No.
Oh! You're talking about the playoff win. Mm-hmm. You're talking about the play. Yeah, we were at Elijah's house.
Yeah, we were at Elijah's
We were
apartment.
at his like little apartment.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because that stood out because I remember again, like when we started talking about it, like earlier in the show, like we cheer, like we actively watch games, like
Yeah.
we're standing up, we're like pacing the floor.
Elijah's non-Titans fans friends left at halftime.
I think that was the same night that Elijah told us they were pregnant for the first time.
Must have been. I think so.
Had to be
close to
with
that.
Judah. Because I think we walked in and I remember because they had like a couch kind of on their like thing, and he like had right out on the other side of his door, he had like a little, I don't know, decoration thing that had the ultrasound.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember that because I just remember getting so hyped because Mariota threw that touchdown pass to himself. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. We all thought that like that was just going to be like a one-off, like at least we'll have that cool moment in this game.
Yeah.
Started the comeback, baby.
Started the major comeback. And so I remember that just because I think just how hype we were in the living room. Like we were all yelling and screaming. Yeah, there was other people there, but they all left. Like
They left at
it was just
halftime
us
'cause we
three
were
after
getting
that
blown
point.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun.
Jonathan Cyprien killed Travis Kelce,
Yes.
which I am
Yes.
convinced there were 3 major things that happened in that game. One was the Mariota self touchdown. 2, Kelce being taken out by Cyprien, and the third one was when Mariota was fumbled and they ran it back for a touchdown,
Yeah.
but they called it forward progress,
Yes.
which they should not have.
Yes.
But they did, thank God.
I don't remember that. I didn't remember that, but that's
it was who's the announcer? He does everything. Whose voice like cracks. A whole bunch.
Shoot. I can see him right now because he called it the same.
Josh McDonough.
Yeah,
Last name
McDonough.
McDonough.
Yeah,
Whatever
McDonough.
the first name is, Josh McDonough. McDonough.
Yeah.
But he was he got fumbled. And the guy catches it and he's like, the all-time leading.
Yeah, the all-time leading
Chiefs. And they thought the game, but they called it forward progress.
He did that. He did the same thing against the Michigan State, Michigan game. Michigan State blocked a field goal or blocked a punt to basically win the game. So Michigan's gonna win the football game. Yeah. Dude, the funny thing is about that. So in college, in my undergrad, I studied communication and sports journalism, and the funny thing is, we went to this conference in North Carolina. It was it's basically to vote or to put some people into the some sort of hall of fame for commentators. Mm-hmm. So all the big people were there, and McDonough was there, and he we were the only college kids. Our professor took us, and we were the only college age kids. Everybody else had been in the industry. I mean, you were talking about big name people. Mike Keith was there, and Vern Lundquist, and just all of the who's who of announcing was there. McDonough was there, and so McDonough, he was younger at the time because this was back in college. This is 2014, 2015, and he took a liking to us because we were the only college kids. And I remember because there was a little, how every time there's something back at the hotel bar, it's an after party thing. Yeah. We got invited to it. We were all over 21, and so we went, and he took a liking to us, and he was like, "Oh, come hang out at the bar with us." And so he stood there next to us and just talked to us. And he was like, "You guys want some more drinks?" And of course, they were free drinks, so he wasn't buying them. Yeah. But that was a cool memory just to be able to hang out with him, because it's just funny how you see these guys on TV, and then you just talk to them, and they're just sports fans like everybody else. They just happen to talk about it for a living. Do you want me to go next, or do you want me to?
I'll do one. Fan defining moment. Not the Titans. Who else?
The old Hawkeyes,
The old Iowa Hawkeyes,
Yeah.
baby. And the fan-defining moment is this show, formerly known as Summer Tree Sports Podcast, because
I kind of forced you into college football fandom.
Because, yes, I would sit here for 10 to 15 minutes every show and say nothing, because you guys started talking about college football, and I had nothing to add. And so that's why I started the segment, Hayden's Iowa Hawkeyes Update of the Week. And the update was they won or they lost. And that was the whole joke. And then I started making the intricate introductions. Hayden's Iowa Hawkeyes Update of the Week. That's me. And then I'd say they won. And then once the show kind of stopped, I kept the update going. And it's become its own thing since then.
You're on a forum.
And then the forum, they knew about it.
I'm still blown away
So
by that.
the reason I picked the Hawkeyes is because my mom and her side of the family is from Iowa. My uncle's a big Iowa fan, so I can talk to him about it. He's the one that knows about the forum and is a part of it. So that's
so great.
That's it. That's it. Hope you guys I'll be making more.
Dude, they're so amazing. If you
I'm
don't watch those,
I'm cooking them up.
If you don't watch those, you got to, because they get so creative. There was a couple last year that I was like, these are so good.
I only did.
You only did a few last year, but there was one or two. There was one of them that I remember. I was like, man, this is so good.
I'm nervous because last year I didn't do it very much because I was living with my parents, and it was kind of hard to kind of get away from that, do creative stuff. And so this year I'm nervous about making them here. And Barbara, can you imagine me singing? Because when I sang, I'm like,
You could probably go to
just go into the closet.
the room or the closet or something and record.
The only
Get you
thing
a
is,
couple-
I really need to be around my computer to do it because I do multiple takes. I put a lot of work, and I do it in one day mostly. I write
Yeah.
it one day, and then I shoot
Yeah.
it another day, or I record the song in one day, and then I shoot it later that day.
Yeah.
So, all in all, it really takes about 2 days of work, but that's all my day is,
Yeah.
is doing those.
So, yeah, go watch our Hawkeye update of the week. It's great. It's one of my favorite things. I literally wait for it on Saturdays. Just wait for it. Sarah gets so excited. So my number 6 is Tennessee's win over Florida State in the College World Series in 2024. That wasn't the championship. That wasn't to win the national championship. Tennessee won the national championship in 2024. They beat, oh man, who did they beat now? Why am I blanking out on who they beat? Texas A&M.
Tam.
I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was A&M. But there was it was like one of the early games. Riley, could you go ahead and pull this up on the thing? Just a quick little, so Tennessee was down quite a bit late in the game. There was a controversial check swing. Yeah, Florida State baseball. So I would just do. Was it go up one? Let me just see if the jerseys match. Yeah, do the Wills one, the 14-minute one down. Oh wait, no, hold on.
You're confusing yourself.
I'm trying to remember 2024. Yeah, that's 2024. Yeah, do that one. So at one point, you might want to just skip forward because I know like this. I don't want to sit here and watch the full 14 minutes. So we were down quite a bit.
Manning.
Oh, Peyton Manning. So we were down 9-4 right here. This is the top of the fourth. Keep on going. Keep on going. We had been making some leeway. 9-6 here in the fifth. Christian Moore had an incredible game. I think he was like 4 for 4 with like a triple, a home run, things like that. We were down by 2 runs here in the top of the seventh. They scored a couple more runs, so it wasn't looking good at this point. I think this was the opening round. This is the first game, I believe. So it's like a really important game to win because if you don't win this, like you're kind of like back to the wall. So
I sneezed.
was this the...
I sneezed again.
I don't know why the Sunday Night Baseball is coming in on this.
Now 9-4.
So yeah, it was 11-8, and at one point Blake Burke came up, and who was our first baseman at the time. Go back to that one. Go back to that one. This kind of started it all. Nice little rip to center field off the wall. Kind of started a run, and we've got this is the bottom of the ninth. We're down 11-8. So he comes up. Blake Burke here. Controversial check swing because he gets to full count. They didn't show it. Dang, they didn't show it. But he drives in a run. Tennessee ends up coming back and obviously winning this game because it wouldn't be on my list if we lost. But there was a controversial. They didn't show it, but Blake Burke had this obvious. Kind of, if I'm being real, like I think he did go around, but I won't ever admit that, even though I kind of just did. But anyways, just this massive run to come back. It was such an amazing game, and then we ended up going and winning the College World Series, which was pretty incredible to like watch. Who knows if you'd be able to find it?
Nah, they're not obvious.
Yeah.
Baseball.
Yeah.
That's all I got. Baseball.
That's all you got.
Baseball. Cubs won one time. I guess that was cool. Fan
Yeah.
dividing moment.
So yeah, that's kind of cool. The funny thing is with like Tennessee baseball is like I've obviously been a massive baseball fan all my life, and so I was kind of watching Tennessee baseball before it got cool to watch Tennessee baseball, like back in 20, pre-2020, because pre-COVID. I started watching Tennessee baseball because college baseball kind of came out of nowhere. I kind of feel like in the late 2010s, like 2018, 2019, it started to be televised a lot more than it used to be. And now it's like everywhere. If people don't watch college baseball still, I mean, unless you're just straight up not a baseball fan, but it just kind of threw itself onto the scene. So I was like watching Tennessee baseball back when we sucked still, kind of when Tony Vitello first got there. So it was kind of fun to like really, really be into it. I was glad that I like looking back, I'm like, man, I'm really glad I decided to like just kind of start watching even when we weren't winning, because it felt better to be on the side of like, oh, I didn't just start watching when we got winning. Like, I was watching when we were grinding. So that was a lot of fun. Real fast, I don't have much to say about this one. I almost didn't put this on, but it was just like so, I think it was so recent on my mind. So never mind, that was my number 6. My number 5 is the missed kick last year versus Georgia. And I actually told my wife.
Yeah.
I actually told my wife that I wasn't going to put this on because it wasn't that big of a deal necessarily to me. Like my mindset about it wasn't that big of a deal. But it was funny because we were there. So me and my wife went to the Tennessee Georgia game last year. It was awesome. It was the coolest game. We jumped out to a pretty big lead. I think we were like 21-3 at one point. Yeah. Georgia being Georgia, they claw their way back. That was the Chris Brazzell game where he like basically I think got himself drafted in like the top 3 rounds just because he just tore Georgia apart. Like he had 3 touchdowns or 4 touchdowns maybe, and like 3 of them like he just made incredibly contested catches like with the Georgia like corner all over him and just had an amazing game. But so we are driving down the field. We got the ball. It's like less than a minute. We're driving down the field. Like we're just carving. And we get on like I don't even remember. It was like a 42-yard field goal. So I think we were on like the 32-yard line or something. And we line up for a field goal because it's like only a couple seconds left. And you could feel the energy in the stadium. Everybody's like, oh my God, like we're about to go. We're about to be, right? Yeah. So you could feel the energy in the stadium because at this point we were about, I guess it was to go like 3-0 or 4-0 or something like that, and of course a win over Georgia. So you could feel it in the stadium. Everybody's like, it was kind of like, you know, like when you're in a stadium and there's just conversation happening. It's not necessarily cheering, but you can just hear talking everywhere around you. Of course, you're in a stadium with 100,000 people in it. So you can feel this energy, and Sarah's like next to me, and she's like jumping up and down. But me, if you looked at me, it was like I've been in the shit too long, dude.
Yeah,
like I was standing here like with my arms crossed, like Sarah's like grabbing my arm and jumping up and down. And I'm just sitting here like I'm like just wait. Like my BVS is like my battered ball syndrome like kicked in. I'm like, no, like I'm not rooting until we win this thing. And sure enough, freaking kicker, dude.
Did you ever watch the broadcast of that game at all?
I don't know if I went back and watched it, no.
If
but
you were watching, you had to know it was coming. Because as they're driving
his face was terrified, dude. You know, he's the kicker. He's the kicker at Arkansas now.
He's got like these tiny little arms.
Dude, so he transferred on the field. He transferred from Tennessee.
He had to.
Yeah, because I told Sarah. I even told Sarah today. I said with a kicker, we were like 10-2 at worst in the last year. Yeah. But.
Poor dude.
That the kick went up, and like I was kind of sitting, like we're in like the lower bowl, but I was sitting opposite. So I was to his back, but I was like in the corner of the end zone to his back, so the angle was kind of weird. But the kick went up, and at first you're like, oh, he got it, like because it went on, it left his foot pretty good, and then you just realize like, oh, that's really far right, and then you can just hear. You can just see it floating, and you can kind of look at the goalpost. And I saw it, and I was like, "Oh no, that's missing." And you can just hear the stadium collectively just let out a, "Oh my!" And at that point, like everybody knew there wasn't a question, dude. Everybody knew. Everybody looked around, and was like, "We just lost." Like even though we were tied still, and like you can't let Georgia hang around like that. And
Was that overtime?
that wasn't overtime. That was into regulation.
Regulation.
And then overtime, I think we got the ball first, unfortunately.
Okay.
And I don't remember. I think he hit a 42-something yard field goal in overtime.
Right. But
To
then
go
they
up
just
to go
scored.
up 3
They just
points,
scored.
and then they just pretty much ran it down our throat
I
and just went and
remember that.
scored.
It was like there's just no stopping it.
Yeah. So, it's funny because I talk about that like as a fan defining moment. I think it's just like I think the reason it's fan defining for me is like not because I got like upset about the loss, because honestly my take, because Sarah was even like, "How do you feel?" And I was like, I said like I think we're okay. Like I mean, because I was thinking about everything. And I was like, we just got Joey Aguilar like 4 weeks ago. He's been our starting quarterback for like a couple weeks, like, and I'm like, okay, like we just went toe to toe with Georgia. Like everything looks really good. Like we literally had the game won. We just had to we just had to execute the field goal. So like I really wasn't upset about the outcome of the game, but like just the stadium experience was funny. Just because like my wife was so excited and I was just like, I'm not celebrating until we hit this kick.
I remember my brother-in-law, who is basically just you, like in terms of like his sports fandom.
Yeah.
Like Titans, Tennessee, Braves, those are like his teams, which is but I remember like talking to him and I was like, yeah, I heard they're like harassing that kicker. He goes, good.
Oh, I bet you go on X right now and go to like the Twitter, the tweets that I've like liked from a while ago. Mm-hmm. I think there was one where it was AI, of course. It was him being like thrown away in a trash can. I'm pretty sure. Like, dude, I like retweeted. I was just mad enough.
Yeah.
About the situation that I was like, oh, I'm gonna retweet that for sure.
You, like in the back of your mind, you're kind of like, I kind of know what Urban Meyer was talking about when he kicked that kicker that one time. It's like, you know what? I think you can make the damn kick.
Yeah, dude. Come on now. So yeah. How many more do you have?
I wrote some down. I bet this one we can share.
Oh wait, here we go.
Did you find it?
Yep.
You should like send it to. Here.
You want me to send it to you and I'll.
Here, I'll hold it up.
Oh wait, it switched. And now it's on a different. It's not even on the same.
We're watching Gangsters or something.
There we go.
Ooh.
Yeah, just go ahead and just throw them away. Also, what is it with X? It's like, hey, I'm watching football content, and they're like, hey, you want to see this fight? Like, what is up with that?
Yes, I want to see the fight. Okay, this one is probably your moment, and if it's not, it should be. Let me paint you a picture.
Okay.
It's Thursday night.
Oh, I know exactly.
Who are we playing?
Hold on. Does it involve 2 number 9s?
We'll find out once I paint this picture. It's Thursday night.
Yeah.
The Titans are playing who else but the vaunted Jacksonville Jaguars. Ooh, no longer doing Color Rush. That went away.
Thank God.
That went away. But oh no, the Titans, they got sacked for a safety or something? What's happening? Oh no, we're at the 1 yard line again.
Yeah.
How are we gonna get out of the situation?
Riley, roll the clip.
It's not like
roll the clip.
It's not like Derrick Henry's been like playing well or nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. And then what?
Oh.
And then what?
Already been one safety in this half.
buddy.
Been one safety.
Oh, buddy.
Starts at the 1 and looking for a little.
Ooh, bounce it, Derek.
Hey, bye, Bouye. Bye. I'll just run past you. Whatever. Just stay back there. Nope. Get out of here. Get out of here, Miles Jack.
I love how annoyed like Derrick Henry looked with throwing that guy to the side. Oh man.
Were you there that game?
No.
I was there that game. It was in.
Again, I miss him so much. We should have paid him.
You know, if we had known that we were going to continue to be bad, or not continue, but we were going to like be bad for a couple of years, we might as well have.
I know.
If we were trying to compete, like, man, even then, I don't know.
I know. Everybody's like, well, he doesn't deserve to be on. I'm like, yeah, but.
Yeah, if you pay him enough, he deserves to be anywhere he wants to be.
God, I miss him.
I get it.
I hope. I mean, it sucks that he's now been on the Raiders for what, 3 seasons, 4
This will
seasons
be.
now.
I think it's his fourth season coming up. I think it might be his third season.
But I'm like,
Third season.
oh man,
So
come back home.
So
Retire at
part
home.
of the context of that moment is this was Derek's third year with us. His first year, he was not the
The
starter.
first
He was
couple of
behind
years,
DeMarco
he
Murray.
wasn't like nobody thought he was any good. Like I remember people being like, "Get this dude out of here."
I remember in the beginning of that that exact season, which was 2018, right? I was like, I think that there's a good chance Henry's not on the team next year.
Yeah,
Because he hadn't been great. And then leading up to this, I was getting so frustrated watching him. What was that, week 8 or 9? Let's see. Does it have our record here? You can figure it out. We were 6-6, so yeah, we were 12 games into the season.
Yeah.
And our bye week must have been like week 9. Because I remember I'm just like, he's so not good. And he's so big, but he like tries to like scat around. Like, he thinks he's like a scat back.
and then Eddie George had a conversation.
He had a conversation, or he listened to whatever I was throwing out there. But basically, that's what Eddie George said. He said, "Do you know how large you are?
Yeah, just
Run through
brother.
them."
Just run straight.
And then it wasn't quite this game. It was the week before we had played the Jets.
Yeah.
And he didn't have some like crazy game, but the way he ran, I was like, "This
Well,
is
you
what
could
I
tell
like."
once he figured that out, like, you could tell that other players had to, like, make a decision.
Yeah.
Like, you can even tell on that run, people are like, I don't really want to get in the way of that. Like,
Well, I remember being like, okay, I kind of like this side of 10. And then that game, that's when the legend
Yeah.
of Derrick Henry,
Because
in the NFL, because he was
what's-
already a legend.
well, what's that, who was that run against the Bills where he just threw that dude off of him?
That was that was like a weird, was that a Monday night game or was that the Wednesday night COVID game? Either way, it was
and then there
Josh
was,
Norman.
Yeah.
Threw him in the stands.
Yeah, because that was the clip where Taylor's on the
Taylor's like,
sideline, like,
"He's sitting
dude,
with
he
my
was
wife
sitting
and
with my wife and
kids."
kids.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But yeah, that is the moment.
I will
where
forever be
the-
a massive Taylor Lewan
The
fan.
legend of Derrick Henry in the NFL was born.
Yeah.
Because after that, that's when people were like, this guy. And then
Yeah.
the next
and
season,
then it just became what he
he's
is.
running for 2,000
Yeah,
yards.
the
and
king.
He's carrying the rock. He becomes the king, where he's Hall of Famer.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Seasons were won on his back.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he carried us through that kind of stretch.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he carried us through that stretch of, like, winning that we had.
We'll forever love Derrick Henry. Was that on your list?
It wasn't. It actually
Oh.
wasn't. But, yeah, what a good
I was
moment.
also there, and it was
Yeah,
it
I
was
think if
crazy.
I was there, obviously, I would be like, oh, I remember
because
that
I
100%.
think he had 4 touchdowns, maybe more. I
Well-
think he was like about to break the record for most
You know
rushing in a game.
the run that I remember the most with him is to close out. Was it a playoff game where he like had that big run against the Ravens to like kind of seal it?
It wasn't
or
a
was
playoff game, but I know what you're talking about.
Yes.
Where it was overtime
He, like, kinda
and
cut
he
across the
reversed
field, yeah.
and just ran in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just that run sticks with me a lot for
Oh,
some
yeah.
reason. I don't know
Oh,
why.
yeah, I love that. Run.
I'll kind of get through some of these quick because I know we're kind of already running time here. But
Mm-hmm.
have you ever seen the Hail Mary against Georgia?
Yes.
So that's on my list. The Dobbs nail boot is what they call it. John Jennings caught that Hail Mary.
Mm-hmm.
That was wild because, like, we had the game. They were down however much. I think Georgia was something like 5. I don't remember unless I looked at the score. They threw basically a Hail Mary with like 8 seconds left. Got behind our secondary somehow and caught the touchdown. Like, it wasn't necessarily a Hail Mary. It was just a long pass that a guy just got behind the secondary and scored a go-ahead touchdown with 8 seconds left. And then they happened to get a penalty, like an unsportsmanlike or something like that, which brought the kickoff.
Yeah.
Like, basically, basically let us like start almost at midfield. And that's when Josh Dobbs walked out there and just like threw up a Hail Mary in the middle of a pile, and Juwan Jennings came up and just caught it. And Vernon Lundquist was like, caught, Tennessee wins. That was crazy. Then kind of one of my top 3 moments, and I'll get to the one that I'm sure you remember the most. I said 2022 Florida win. I was at my sister-in-law's wedding. We were playing Florida, and I remember because I was in her wedding. Was I in her wedding? I think no. I don't remember. I was in her wedding at some capacity. At some capacity.
Yeah.
And we were like at the venue that whole day, but it was like a pretty early game, so we were all watching it like kind of throughout. And then we started taking like they're like, I think they took pictures before the wedding. So we were taking pictures, and like everybody at the wedding was like, "What's the score? What's the score?" Because we were up, but it was kind of one of those things. It was like we were up, and then they were up, and we were up, and they were up, and so we kind of just kept tabs on it. And I remember because we scored a touchdown, we went up like 2 scores on them, and we were all like, "Oh, we got it." But then Florida's ended up scoring a touchdown, and then they kicked an onside kick, and they got the onside. And so everybody was like, "Oh my God!" But we were literally taking our last pictures. Like we were taking this one. I think we were all lined up in a big line, and I remember like literally being outside, and then like the poor photographer's like trying to snap a photo, but all the guys are like huddled around one phone because like they basically have to like almost throw a Hail Mary.
Yeah,
ended up being like an interception, I think, going to Tennessee, but. Then we just like erupted at the wedding. It was kind of cool because then that started like they've only beat us once since 2022. I think they won in 23, so it's been we won in 2022, they won in 23, and then we won 24 and last year 25, which last year was a big one because it was the first time we had won in the swamp since like I was a kid.
Yeah.
So just a big one. Oh man, number two. The old.
Is this bad?
It's a bad moment,
no.
but it's iconic.
Uh-huh.
It's an iconic to like the lore of like just our friend circle.
Oh, okay.
Me, you, and Elijah's friend circle.
Yeah.
The old, I won't say the actual because I don't.
God damn it, Butch Jones!
Dude,
I'll say it.
Oh my God! So that was me in the car coming back from Florida. By myself. Did I Snapchat that to you guys? Was Snapchat a thing? It was something. It was an app where I was able to record myself live. I think live, or was I on the phone with you guys? Something. I was either on the.
Snap,
it was either a snap or I was like on a 3-way call or something. But yeah, basically. So that whole thing, that was back when me and Elijah worked for CBS, and usually me and Elijah drove. So like how it worked is like. They didn't fly us out there, but they'd basically like, hey, just your mileage, whatever, we'll pay for your mileage. I always used to ride with Elijah because he had like that was back when he had that blue like Ford Focus or some Ford Fusion or something. Got really good gas mileage. It was like a newer car, and so we would always ride together. For some reason he stayed down there, so we didn't ride together. I drove myself, so I drove to Florida to work. Because we got down there on like Tuesday or Wednesday, and then we would leave on like Saturday night. The Florida-Georgia game is at the Jaguar Stadium, or I guess it usually is. So it was for that game. So we had to work the Florida-Georgia game, and then I drove back home. Luckily, that game was early in the day, and then the Tennessee-South Carolina game was that night. It was in South Carolina. So I remember I was driving back home, and I was in the middle of nowhere. I was probably in the middle of like Alabama or maybe still in Florida even. And I was listening to the game on the radio, and we were up like a lot at one point. And then we ended up kind of like losing. We ended up letting South Carolina come all the way back and beat us. And I just remember like the top of my lungs.
God damn it, Butch Jones.
Dude, the top of my lungs. And that's forever been like a funny, like just kind of like spoken
it's like a
meme.
Thanks Obama kind of meme where it's like, oh, I got a flat tire today.
Yeah.
God damn it, Butch
Jones. Dude. So I was so frustrated, man. I just that kind of I think that was on the downhill of Butch Jones's. Yeah, it had to be because it was 2018. That was the year he kind
There
of
were
got canned.
times when we were all living together where Elijah and I would text each other and be like, "Hey, don't come home. Vols lost today." Braden's at the house. Don't come home.
Dude.
Vols just lost today.
Butch Jones pissed me off so bad. It's just like the stupidest stuff.
I know you're number one.
What is it?
It has to be a couple years ago.
Okay.
It has to be Tennessee defeating
Yeah.
Alabama in one of the craziest games you'll ever see.
Dude, craziest games. And the worst thing about it is I wasn't like zoned into the game.
I was listening to it. I listened to a lot of.
Yeah, why are you just listening to the radio?
This time
Why are you old school listening to Vols
I was driving
radio?
to Atlanta to go watch the Falcons play the 49ers. Just because I love their stadium so much.
Yeah.
And my uncle had tickets, so I just was driving to Atlanta, and so I was listening to it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So I was on vacation or doing something. I don't remember. I know I was with Sarah. I think I was in Texas, of all places. I think
Yeah.
we were visiting a friend in Texas. We had went to no. Yeah. We were visiting a friend in Texas, and I remember because Elijah was at the game. He actually asked me to go. I know, dude. But I was like, nah, I can't go. I got plans to go to Texas and blah blah blah. So I was like paying attention to the game. Obviously, we were somewhere like at dinner or something with people, and we were driving back to our hotel. And I was like checking in, and of course at dinner I was like, "Oh man, look, we're winning!" Of course, like we hadn't beaten Alabama in years at this point. Because like Heupel got there in 21, then 22 was like that. Really, like number one should just be like the 2022 football season up to a point. I almost put on.
Encapsulates the season.
I almost put on the list as a bad like top 10 was the Hendon Hooker injury because that's just kind of what derailed like the national championship hopes. Because that South Carolina game was just so terrible.
Yeah.
And then he freaking tore his ACL, which sucked. Which there's like whole conspiracies behind that game now. Have you heard like the whole Michigan thing? So like Michigan, they got for like cheating, like sign stealing and stuff. There's been like, I wouldn't necessarily say credible because I hate like blaming things on like I hate when people are like, oh, the refs, like I can't stand that. But like I've seen multiple like theories. Yeah. I've seen like multiple like theories and different things come out that like Michigan was like sharing some intel with other teams that were playing like possible college football playoff contenders that they would like look at film and basically do what they were doing, I guess, and like relay it. So I've heard like some theories that Michigan like relayed some stuff to South Carolina, like just because like they knew that Tennessee was a CFP contender at the time, and like Michigan was trying to like make sure that they were going to be in over anybody else. But that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, that whole season, because it was like we were 10-2, like out of nowhere. Like Josh just got there; he was 7-5 in 2021. We were like 10-2. We like beat Florida, Alabama, like. All in that same year. It was great. So, yeah, the 2020 – oh, I didn't finish telling the story. We were on the way home from dinner, and I pulled it up. We were, like, driving on the interstate. I will admit, I was 100% looking at my phone.
How dare.
Sarah was holding my phone, like, just kind of in the middle of us, and, like, we were just sitting there watching the game. And then we pulled into the parking lot when the last drive started. So like the two throws that Hendon Hooker made, like one over the middle, and then the really amazing throw to Brew McCoy, where like he kind of like desperation threw it over the middle, and Brew like kind of bodied a guy up and like caught it in the air, and then it hit the ground with like 1 second left. And then McGrath came out and hit the knuckler, like field goal to win the game.
Yeah.
Buddy, that was so. People at the hotel bar, like we were walking in because like we like watched it in the car and like it exploded in the car and was just like hooting and hollering in the car, and I had Tennessee stuff on, and we like walked into the hotel in Texas, and there were like people at the bar at the hotel like cheering for the game because they were just like, oh, it's so awesome. Just like that's the cool thing I feel like about college football is like people will watch a random game like attached to like the underdog or something just because everybody kind of hates the same person. And at the time, it was like everybody hates Alabama.
Yeah.
And you're like you're in Texas Longhorn country, you know, and they're just like hating Alabama,
Yeah.
you know, just
Yeah.
so that was cool.
Yeah, I remember driving and I was listening to it, and I even like there was because it was like going back and forth.
Yeah.
You know, and there was one point where like Alabama got like a double possession. Like
They
went
scored
out, 3 and out, and then or something like
They
that.
scored, and then we had the ball. We were still in the lead, and then Hendon Hooker tried to hand the ball off, and it was a fumbled snap, and they scooped and scored it. Like we were like on the 10-yard line.
Yeah,
and just, like,
and then so basically like because it was going back and forth, I was like, it was one of those whoever has the ball last is going to win this thing, or whoever turns it over and gets the other team. So when that happened, I think basically at one point Alabama kind of goes up 2 scores. I'm like, this game's over.
Yeah,
this game's over. But it went forever.
Dude, that was Jalen Hyatt's 5-touchdown game.
Yeah.
Jahmyr Gibbs was just God. You don't realize it at the time because like those are college guys, so like you don't know their like legacy or what their legacy is going to be in the NFL. Mm-hmm. But now like looking and like knowing who Jahmyr Gibbs is and like knowing just like the absolute baller he is in the NFL, and then to like go back and be like, oh, he was the Alabama running back in that game, and just watching him carve us up, just like. I was like, dang, dude, he is so good.
Yeah. And then I got to my uncle's house, and he was like, you seeing this game? I'm like, yeah, I was listening to it. So we watched it together and watched the ending, and it was awesome. I knew that would be your number one because it should be.
Yeah.
Some honorable mentions that I was kind of jotting down. A couple nights ago, years ago, there was a 49ers Thursday night game that we won. It was just a really good game. I remember my favorite play from Tannehill was that game where he did he got him offside. He did a hard count and got him offside and just chucked it up to A.J. Brown, who caught it for a huge play. It was just my favorite thing. I'm like, you see like Rodgers doing that stuff all the time.
Yeah.
It was like Tannehill just did it perfectly.
Yeah.
I loved it. Another, I think it was a Monday night game, was when Josh Allen slips to get in. Really it was just because Jeffrey
Big
Simmons
Jeff just
going,
golfed him up.
Yeah. I remember I was walking around pre-game, and there's everyone travels so well to Nashville, and the Bills fans. There's a million of them. And there's a lot of Titan fans because we were good, but there's still way more Bills fans. But I remember one fan saying like, "Oh, we got 2 stadiums. We got our stadium, and then we got this one right here." And I'm like, "Ha ha 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 ha! We beat their ass. Got them.
Got them."
And then this one, I can't even tell you the year. It was like 2006, maybe 7. Is when the Rob Baronis had like a 60.
I remember where I was at. I was at a skating rink.
I was at the game.
I was at a skating rink when he hit that.
Against the Colts to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
It was like
I was watching that
on he tied the record at the time.
I was watching that on like the old tube, like those tube TVs that are like everywhere in the public back then. Like it was right by the skate counter at some skating rink. There was a TV right beside the skate counter, and I was sitting there watching it. I remember him hitting it like as I was sitting there watching that TV.
Yeah. It was awesome. I remember that one, and there's like a couple other ones like Vince Young's comeback against the Cardinals, Corey Davis's touchdown against I think the Eagles after they just won a Super Bowl. Maybe I can't remember.
Do you remember? This is a bad memory.
Oh boy!
But it's still one of those moments where I'm like, it sticks out. What year was it? The Steelers or was it the? No, it had to be the Ravens. The Algie Crumpler fumble. What game was that? That was a playoff game. I was at that game.
We had the number 1 seed or something.
I was at that game somehow. I don't remember who I was with. I don't know who I went with.
I don't think it was.
It wasn't y'all because I didn't know y'all back then.
I don't think I was at that game. But yeah.
But yeah, I remember that because the Algie Crumpler.
Was that the Kerry Collins years? Where we?
Yeah, that was Kerry Collins. That was Kerry Collins. That was CJ2K. CJ2K was kind of like dealing with an ankle injury that game, but he still played. But he was still pretty effective.
That's it. That's all I got. Those are some honorable. I mean, I'm sure there are more if I thought about it, but those are the big ones.
Yeah.
We are An hour and 24, so we should wrap up.
Yeah.
Couple of things. No show next week. Father's Day.
Yeah.
So I'll be working, and then I'll be Father's Day.
Yeah.
Because I'm a cat dad. So see us in 2 weeks. World Cup's going on. U.S. won their first game big, 4-1.
You know, yes, I love that. I'm probably 95% of the American population is like, I'll watch the heck out of a USA soccer game. Mm-hmm. It pisses me off that we have to wait all the way till Friday, which I know like people are like, oh, it's the same thing with college football, but I'm like, it's a tournament. Like, let's play every 2 days, you know? But I get it. Like, there's a lot of rest, and there's rest factors in, and there's so many nations playing. Yeah. But you know what pisses me off the most is like, I don't even know if pisses me off the right word. It's just like, get over it.
Get over it.
These foreign countries that just act so appalled that like the U.S. doesn't care about soccer as much as they do. It's like, okay, it's like our sixth most popular sport over here.
Right.
Like, get over.
If it was our most popular, we would dominate.
You know, like, no, I can't believe you Americans don't even know really you're playing. There's the NBA, like the NBA playoffs and the NHL playoffs probably trump the World Cup right now, like to the normal American. Not to us necessarily, because we don't really care about the NBA or NHL, but like, I don't know. Just stop acting like we're terrible because we don't care about your main sport.
Speaking of NHL,
yeah,
Canes are up 3-2. Game started 20 minutes ago. I'm gonna throw it on after.
Let's watch it.
And so if they win the whole thing, and it still wouldn't count as.
I'll be a Carolina Hurricanes stand for you.
It won't count as my team winning because my team is still the Predators, but I am rooting for Carolina. So yeah, maybe we'll witness a championship here in a sec.
I'm gonna take your offer up on one of those donuts here in a second.
Take one. And then I guess the last thing that I had on here, which this isn't how we do the show, but did you see Oliver Tree died?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Stop getting in helicopters. Like,
dog,
let's
trust
just
me.
stop getting in helicopters.
Don't do it, dude. Like, from personal experience, you know? Don't do it. Helicopters. He crashed. Like his helicopter crashed into another helicopter.
Yeah, hit it. How does that happen?
Someone posted a video of 2 helicopters crashing and said that there was footage of it. I don't know if that was just 2 helicopters crashing or if it was the video, but that sucks. I feel bad. There's also a YouTuber, forgive me, I don't know his name, who was also in it. You know, condolences to that. That's awful. And then Alden Smith passed away a day or 2 ago.
Yeah.
I guess this is mostly just a spit in the face of Sarah, who said we're not allowed to talk about death. Too bad.
Shut up and dribble.
We're talking about it.
We're going to rechange our name to the podcast to Shut Up and Dribble.
Yeah, also, let's talk about our feelings, Braden.
Yeah.
Tell me about
How are you feeling?
I'm fine.
You're fine? Me too.
I'm fine. We can be fine together.
We're fine.
Thanks for watching the show.
We'll see you in 2 weeks.
See you in 2 weeks, everyone. Dance it out. Dance it out. Dance.
Oh, see ya.